Hey, what's going on, y'all? Hope everyone's having a fabulous day. If you haven't gotten a chance to subscribe to this channel, please do so. I want you to ring that notification bell. That way, when I drop a video, you'll be notified. In this video, what I want to talk to you guys about is what I would do if I had a 580 FICO score or less with very few funds. And the reason why I want to talk to you guys about this is because I get a lot of people that ask me, is it okay to skip the steps of getting a secure credit card? And I just want you to know that, yes, you can skip the steps of getting a secure credit card, but you're missing out on a huge advantage. When I started teaching people about secure credit cards, the reason why is because, one, there wasn't a lot of people that were talking about secure credit cards. And two, the reason why I started teaching people about secure credit cards is because the one thing that's been missing in this whole credit game is discipline. And I believe discipline is a skill, and it's something that has to be developed. And when I put somebody or get somebody on a secure credit card, it's better to teach them discipline with a $250 secure credit card than it is a $25,000 unsecured credit card. That's just the truth. And so oftentimes, even once they go through my system, I have so many people that will go through my system and they will get that high limit credit card and they still don't have the discipline, the skill of discipline, and they end up coming back and we have to rework their credit and find a way to lower their utilization rate. So I use secure credit cards as a tool to teach discipline. Okay. And I just wanted to get that out the way before we go any further. But the answer is yes, you can absolutely build a solid credit profile without getting secure credit cards. Now, if you don't have, the $500, because each secure credit card is going to require about a $250 deposit. So let's say you don't have $500 to just, to put towards your secure credit cards. You can go out and get these two merchant accounts that I'll always try and put people on. One is MyJewelers, the other one is New Coast Direct. The third account that you want to get is an installment loan with Self-Lender or Credit Strong or something like that. So yes, you can still build your credit. Once you get to about the 620-ish range, that's when you want to start applying for unsecured credit cards. You want to go after like a Capital One or something like that. A credit card that doesn't have a lot of requirements to get approved, because there's some credit cards that even with a 620, you still will not be able to get approved for. So you have to know which unsecured credit cards that you should go after. And if you haven't burned Capital One recently, I would definitely try and get a Capital One card. But if you want to build your credit the right way, I would recommend getting the two secure credit cards. It's just a fail-proof system that I developed to help people build their credit. And I get people that ask me this question so much that, I'm starting to think maybe because of the pandemic that's going on, the loss of jobs, that there's not a lot of people that can throw money at getting secure credit cards than going out getting the MyJewelers, because the MyJewelers and New Coast Direct, you're talking about each one of those is $100, plus you have to put 50% down. That's like $300 between those two accounts, and then $500 for the secure credit cards. That's about $800 just to get started the way that I talk about. And so I don't believe there's one way to skin a cat. There's always has to be a way that people can build credit without having to put so much money down. And I know times are hard. I'm just trying to devise a system to help people build their credit, because a lot of times people are really afraid to invest in themselves. I don't know why that dynamic exists, but the reality of it is people are really afraid to invest in themselves. But there has to be a way that people can invest in themselves efficiently. And I believe one of the best ways to invest is building your credit. I know there's a lot of people that are big on self-development and stuff like that, but in today's society, credit is so important. I know there's a lot of people that that are so against credit, and they always talk as if there's a better way to build yourself up than credit. And I just believe there's nothing that's gonna make a person stand up high with their neck out more than a 700 FICO score. That's just my personal opinion. It feels different when you know that if you run into a situation, you have credit to fall back on, especially if you're in a high expense industry like trucking. Okay, trucking is a situation you blow a turbo, that's $5,000. Okay, tires, you're talking yearly on tires, $3,000 yearly on tire, fuel. All these things require a huge amount of funds, a huge amount of capital to sustain your business. And when you're in a business, access to capital is very, very vital. And, if you don't have the means to save up, but you want to get started in your business or even in your daily life, credit is just so vital that I try and teach people that this is the best self-development that you can give yourself. The best investment that you can give yourself is just by going out and start building your credit. Now, once you start building your credit, you get to a point where, okay, now what do I do? And this is the second part that I'll always talk to about, deleting items off your credit report. We just got to address the gorilla in the room. So deleting items in your credit report. Now, how would I go about doing this? The very first step is understanding that you have to work your game plan backwards, right? You have to reverse engineer this whole game. And I know this sounds counterproductive than anything that you've heard before, because people just talk about, just write a letter here, send this. And you have to understand that if you're going to dispute it on your own, the first thing you have to understand is, if I send this letter and they come back with a response that said debt verified, do you know what to do after that? And that's the part that hangs people up the most. What do I do next? And if you do not know what to do next, I would definitely hire a professional. Okay. And I know I have a credit repair company, and I'm not trying to pitch my credit repair company, but so often I get people that will contact me and they want to go through some type of credit repair course with me or something, because they sent out a couple of dispute letters. They didn't get the response that they wanted. And now they're looking for a professional to help them. Now, once you sign up with a credit repair company and you've sent out these letters, they have to unwind any mistakes that you had made previously. And that's what I want people to understand, is the reason why I say reverse engineer it, because if you just send this letter and then try to respond to whatever they send you and you don't know what to do next, then you're going to be in a situation where you're going to start reaching out to credit repair companies, and a lot of them they won't even want to touch you, because they know that they're going to have to first unwind everything that you did, and then try and start, to get some type of success, even though you already got the ball rolling. And most credit repair companies, we know that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem, because now we got to unwind what you did previously. So just take that into consideration. Yes, you can build credit without secure credit cards, but it's just so vital, right? Because understanding your utilization rate is really important. And you can Google this. There's so many credit repair gurus out here telling you to stay under 30%. And I don't know if they're just regurgitating the same information, or if they just don't know any better. Like maybe they just really don't know any better. And I would not recommend any of my clients to be above 30% on their credit, because that's when you're going to start having these huge decreases in FICO scores, when you have these huge utilization rates. And I don't know how to express it to people more. You want to stay in between 2 to 7% on your utilization rate, right? Anywhere between 2 to 7. I actually had some person say, well, what about 1%? What about 8%? Stay underneath 10%. Okay, stay underneath 10%. Don't go over 10%, because as soon as you start going over 10%, that's when you're going to really start taking points away from your FICO score. And that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to build our FICO scores up so that we can use it as a tool to either start a business, to get into a home, maybe finance a car. We want to get these things, so when we get them, we want to be in the best position to get the best interest rate in the best terms as possible. So don't shoot yourself in the foot by going out here applying for a bunch of credit, right? Becoming credit hoes, or having high utilization rates on your credit card. And there's going to be people out here that are going to look at this video and they're going to want to send me some crazy comment about, well, what about 13% utilization rate? Is that okay? Listen, 2 to 7%, stick to the code. If you want to, 1%, 0, fine. Okay, that's on you. Don't email me, should you be under, this percentage. Just understand, I'm trying to give you guys a blueprint that everyone can follow, that we know that if we stay under this threshold, we're not going to put ourselves in danger. And if you have a secure credit card and you're like $250, but you're only using like $17 of that, you're fine. You're not going to put yourself in a danger zone. And as long as you develop the skill of discipline with a secure credit card, when you start going out here getting these high limit credit cards, you're going to know how to handle that credit card. And like I always say, man, I always get people coming back when they get these high limit credit cards, or we'll talk about, something else, and then they have me pull their credit report, and then I will see that high limit credit card that they just got recently, and all of a sudden it might be a $20,000 unsecured credit card, but now they got an $18,000 balance. And I see it so much that I don't know if you guys understand what it is that I'm trying to teach you guys and why I'm trying to teach you the way that I'm teaching you. Absolutely, you can go get these merchant accounts. Ox Publishing, Hutton Chase. You could go get so many of these accounts to build your credit score, but very rarely are you going to max any of these accounts out. Like, you're not going to max a MyJewelers account out. You're not going to max out a New Coast Direct. Okay, so if you're going out getting all these different merchant accounts, you still haven't developed the skill of discipline. And I know everyone that's listening to this channel right now, you believe in your heart of hearts that you're the person that's going to be able to maintain your credit. But I want you to understand that this game is very dangerous. And that's why I do what I do the way that I do it. Okay, because I don't want to put somebody in a situation where they're coming back to me, upset at the fact that, they got a $20,000 unsecured credit card balance that they got to, take care of. That's not why we're doing this. And so building your credit is huge. It's key. When you build your credit, once you built your credit, what you want to do is you want to make sure that if you do start sending dispute letters, think backwards, like what if I send this letter and they say, account verified, or they don't respond? Do I know how to respond to that? Do your research up front before you start sending any letters. Know your game plan. Develop a game plan that you're going to have, that you're going to be able to implement through this whole process. You should be able to, before you send your first letter, you should be thinking about your fifth letter. All right. And that's the game of chess. The person that can think out the furthest, the moves out the furthest, there's a really good chance that person is going to win. If you're just responding and just, okay, I'm going to send this letter and see what happens, and then I'm going to send this letter, see what happens, chances are you're going to get yourself in a situation that you're going to be seeking help at that point. And I don't want you guys to be in that situation as well. So I just wanted to make this video to touch bases with you guys. I hope this video finds you well. Like I said, if you haven't gotten a chance to subscribe to this channel, I believe it's the best channel out here on credit repair, on credit in general. So I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. I'm going to talk to you later. You guys have a blessed one. Bye-bye.